The woman has a vagina, and through her vagina, unfortunately, we see as vagina as just a hole in which we can stick shit. But that's not really what happens. And so a woman comes and she has her ideas and of herself like everybody else, and technically through her vagina, it's a passageway where you're literally plugging the man. So everything that the man is now penetrates the woman. Today's sexuality is understood as I have a penis, I stick my cock, I rub it a couple of times, then I come, and that's the end of that. And both the man and the woman are totally shielded from a deeper reality, which is right there and it's obvious and it's happening regardless. As I've said before, my penis is the extension of myself. I am the phallus, and my penis is the thing that is the that you plug in. So if you're, as a man, if you're a source of power, which is what you're supposed to be, and power means intention, you plug this into the woman. And if there's a genuine sexual act, what is she? She's supposed to receive you. This is the definition of a woman, or it's the definition of a womb. The womb is supposed to receive. And even if we stay at the surface and we say, well, the womb receives the sperm, well, what's the sperm if it's not the man? The little man, right? So she's literally, the womb is literally receiving the man in a seed form. This is just from a physiological point of view. From an energetic point of view, I'm plugging myself into the woman. And if she's to receive me, everything that is in the way has to go. All her ideas of herself, all her fantasies, all her dreams, all the nonsense that's in the way, all the other people, everything has to be cleared out. Well, that's if I'm powerful enough. Let's presume for the sake of conversation that I am, or that the man is. Everything that's in the way should be cleared out, right? Let's say I have a closet, and there's a closet, and I have lots of stuff to put into the closet. The closet job is to receive. Let's use a better example. Let's say I have a vase, and I want to pour in some water. I got an 18 liter of water, and I have a vase. Well, if there's shit in the vase, we got a problem. So we have to clear the vase. So the reality of sexuality is not what has been sold to us, where a woman can do whatever she wants. Only at the surface, yeah, and only in the advent that the woman is closed to her womanness, which receives. So she keeps the man outside, never lets herself be touched, or never receives genuinely, because she doesn't want to receive, because if she does, her idea of herself, or whatever she pretends to be, is going to get deconstructed. Now that's a powerful act. That has nothing to do with what we're taught. That has nothing to do with what we imagine. I'm going to say it again. Your average woman lives in a fantasy of herself. She has ideas of herself, who she is, who she wants to be, what she should be, and what she should do, right? And let's say she's meeting a man. Well, how the machinery is designed is that she's supposed to receive the man. If she lets the man come in, not just with his penis, but his energy, and she lets herself be penetrated by the energy, well, whatever she is disappears. What's going to be in her is the man. Yes, I hope this makes sense, and I hope you understand what I mean. Now, for a woman, that's the death. It's the death of her. Well, it's not really her, but it's the death of whatever she thinks she is, or it's the death of whatever she imagines she's going to be, or it's the death of everything that's false inside of her. It's something is dying. I think we can understand. She's being penetrated energetically and literally with a person and all his energy and the power that governs and runs that person's life, and now it enters into her. And if the man knows what the hell he's doing, which let's not talk about that, well, your penis is just moving. It's you are entering her through your penis. But you don't even need a penis to fuck her. That's just to seal the deal, so to speak. So she has to learn how to receive that intensity, learn how to receive that energy. Yeah, but if she's full, there's no space for you. If she's got other contracts, meaning she has other people living in her house, there's no space for you. If she's committed to her so-called ideals or so-called ideas of herself, there's no space for you. I don't want you to come inside myself because I don't want this to go away. I want that. So then what is she doing fucking with you? I'll tell you what she's doing. She's trying to take from you your sexual power. Literally, she wants to take your semen so that she can fuel her own ideas of herself. She can birth her own ideas of herself rather than birth you. I'm going to say it again. When a woman receives a man's semen, what is she doing? She's birthing you. They're going to make the so-called biological feminist universe is going to try to confuse you. At the end of the day, you're the seed, she's the earth. So what does the earth do? It gives birth to the seed. Who want to argue with that? It's pretty easy to understand. So the woman, her service to the man is that if she loves the man, if you ever meet a woman who's intelligent or conscious, she's going to say, I want to give birth to you. I want to give birth to you. Because she's the only thing in the whole creation that can birth you. She's not going to birth you because you're right there, but she's going to birth a new version of you, 2.0, hopefully. Right? So in order to do that, the woman, whoever she is, dies. She becomes a vehicle for you. I hope this makes sense. I feel that it does. This is pretty profound and pretty fucking straightforward also. So in today's day and age, and this is not to criticize the woman, well, she doesn't want to birth you. She don't give a fuck about you. What she wants to birth is herself. And whoever herself is not really herself, but because herself is born when she births you. That is herself. The supreme creatrix comes to life when she has birthed the intention. I don't know if y'all people going to be able to follow your homeboy, but I'm going to keep on going. So nowadays, she doesn't want to birth you. She wants nothing to do with you. What she wants to do is birth the idea of herself. So she's going to make sure that you can never really penetrate her. She may trick you and fool you to make you believe that she's taking you in with all her tricks because you're an idiot. You don't understand what the fuck is going on. And what she's going to do is suck your energy and use it to fuel her agenda. That's what she's going to do nowadays. This is not a criticism on the woman. This is just to explain how it goes. At some point in time, I knew this lady. I don't know how to say. She was a shamaness. I don't know. That's how she called herself. She was an unusual person. And she was the first person. She was way older than me. And she's the first person who ever told me. I was a young cat, kind of dumb. But I've never been really dumb, but immature would be the right word. And she looked at me and she says, and she told me, and she was she had hundreds of partners, 6 abortions, no, 6, she had been raped 6 times. It's a character, special person, okay? It doesn't matter. But she had been at some point one of my teachers, and she told me, you know, when you enter a woman, the woman you're entering the woman. Now, I had never thought of that at the time, nor did I understand it. And when she told me, I kind of understood it theoretically, but I didn't understand it until I understood it. But she understood what I meant because she used this as a form of sport. The point is, she's saying, you're entering into her. I'm like, I don't really understand what that means. You have to go into her. Which is pretty fucking obvious, but it's not pretty obvious nowadays because the woman's vagina is generally numb and the guy's cock is sleepy. It doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Everything's upside down. What can I say? Let's try to continue and let's try to conclude. It took me some time to genuinely realize what that meant. And to actually understand it as I've met women, and then I understood, oh, that guy's there, and I can retrace him, and that guy's there, I could retrace him, and I discovered the implications or the imprints of the sexual encounters that she's had in the past, which was very fascinating. It's like, wait a minute, that's a whole other subject. We'll get into it another point in time, but not today. The point is, a woman is supposed to. A woman who's a heterosexual who chooses to engage with a man in the proper way of the sport, technically is supposed to receive the man. Now, I've said this before in the womb pill series. Why the fuck would a woman want to receive you? Right? She has to take you inside of her. So you better have something to give, literally, for her to want to take you and allow you inside of her. Because she's going to now be tainted by you. And if you're psychotic, she becomes psychotic. If you're deranged, she becomes deranged. If you're lustful, she becomes lustful. If you're diseased, she becomes diseased. If you're saintly, she becomes saintly. She's taking you in. So if you consider your average men today, this is not a criticism. Well, I've said this before. If I was a woman, I'm like, I don't want you to go inside of me because I don't want to be you. You're disgusting. Right? And this may be insulting to some people, but you should at least understand what I'm trying to say. If she's genuinely opening herself up to the act of sexuality and learning to play the sport where she's allowing herself to receive you, well, whatever the fuck you are is going into her. So you think about the number of girls, the kind of relationship women have had and the kind of disgusting men they let inside. Like disgusting. It's disgusting. Like this is a disgusting person. You don't even want to spend 5 minutes with him after. He's so disgusting. And she let him into her. I'm saying a lot of things at the same time. It's a mashup kind of day. Please bear with me. Thank you for your patience. Well, this needs to be understood. And there's another component to it, which I've touched base on before, and I don't totally want to get into it totally today, but a woman has to be able to select what man she lets in, and she has to select that based on a knowledge of self as to what she's designed to birth. Because there needs to be a correlation. She cannot just let anything in. It has to match her creative potential. So if she doesn't have a sense of that, then she doesn't know what to let in or what not to let in. Anyways, let's conclude and bring things to a standstill. A woman receives the man. So, you better let in something worthy of being let in. That's what I gotta say. And as a man, you penetrate a woman. So I said this, I used to say this to my friends. I don't used to, I say this, but I already said it, so I'm not gonna say it again, but I'm gonna say to you. I said, as a man, let's say you put your semen into the woman and it's going to grow. I say that to guys. I'm like, do you want to live in her for 9 months? And I mean this from the bottom of my being. Like, your seed, that's you. Would you want to live inside this fucking woman for 9 months? You'd be like, no, she's fucking insane. I'm like, exactly. Would you like to live in that fucking woman for 9 months? She's insane with her toxic ideas, all her thoughts, and all the fuckers she let inside of herself, right? All that filth is there, all that toxicity, all that emotional junk and gook and all that fucking crap, it's all there. And you gonna tell me you want to put yourself in there. It's literally, you want to put yourself into that nookie and impregnate her. And it's you, gonna be baby you, the new version of you. You want to grow in that, you want to live in that womb, and you want to live in that hostel for 9 months, bro? Really? Then you'll know the answer. You're like, no, I wouldn't want to live there and not for 9 months. It's disgusting. I'm like, exactly. So there's so much more to sexuality than meets the eye. Also, we can take it at the first level if we use a little bit of intelligence. It unpacks and leads to so much bigger, but your average person doesn't want to do such an exercise because they're obsessed with ejaculation. But when you understand these things, you start to think, it's like, well, would you like to live in her? Like, there's no room. It's not that the person is a bad person. There's no space. Everything is pent up and tense, and there's no space in the pelvis. And there's like so many people living in the house, from daddy to mommy to sister to auntie to a grandmother. And let's not talk about the number of guys that like left their imprints. That means left a part of themselves in her. And you mean to tell me you're gonna live in the smallest little apartment in that fucking hotel, and you want to grow there a full, powerful version of yourself? Now, this may sound strange to some of you, but it may sound 100% legit for the rest of you, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So how the hell do you want to fucking use that woman to reproduce yourself and become a better version of yourself? If I'm supposed to reproduce and create version 2.0 of myself, well, you better select the right woman. And the reality is that, well, nowadays everybody's fucked up. So you're going to have to get a house, and you're going to have to do some job. You're going to have to renovate, dude. You're going to have to maybe create a solar room, and I don't know how you call it. You're gonna have to like make that shit, like you're gonna have to like revamp the shit, bro. It's gonna cost you. But maybe sometimes the house it's like broken down, but it's got a lot of potential. So you're gonna have to invest yourself to make it into something decent. But I think you understand what I'm trying to say. So on the one hand, you as a man, when you're hanging out with a girl, like, I'm not gonna say ask yourself, would you like to live in her for 9 months? No, this will come forth on its own as you start to have a deeper intimate relationship with yourself and the woman. And then you'll understand more what I mean. And on the other hand, well, the woman has to receive the man. So it's like, as a woman, do you really want this fucker to live inside of you? Well, he disgusts you. So what the hell are you inviting him in? Why the hell are you inviting somebody disgusting in your house? Because he has this and I need that. I'm like, well, yeah, great. But he's still going to come in with his dirty shoes and his stench, and he's going to leave his stench and his traces here so that you can get a little bit of that. So there's more optimal strategies in order to replenish yourself. Anyways, I want to conclude on this. I'm going to apologize because I feel that this session was very mashed up. There's a lot of data in the panel here. This is the womb pill, so this is made of women who are very eager to hear what I got to say about all this nonsense. So they're like very excited. So there's a lot of data coming, and it's not, in my humble opinion, to my satisfaction, perfectly communicated, but I feel I did a decent job. It's going to be unpacked in the next sessions. But I feel that you get a sense of what I'm trying to say. There's so much more to fucking, to sexuality, than your gonads. And if this is something you want to discover, then somehow, some way, you have to be honest with yourself and perhaps realize that you're not satisfied with what you're feasting on.